the president had called me from the Hall of Fame and made it official that you have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And if you can, will you please keep it quiet? And so I was able to keep it pretty quiet. I only shared it with about 500 or 600 people.
Artis is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. I mean, he's got a heart of gold. He's just a true man's man.
Artis always excited everyone. There's no question about it.
It's been said many, many times about Artis. He was a great basketball player, but he's even a better person. And put me on that list of people who've said that.
He was in a good way, a freak of nature. He could jump high. He was 7 foot tall. He could run as fast as the guards could run. I don't know that we'll ever see an athlete quite like him, that big, ever to play the sport of basketball.
Having followed his career, I've always noticed there is no change. Artis is Artis. And no matter what fame came to him, no matter what anybody did or said, he kept that.
I've been watching a lot of footage from his days here in Jacksonville and some footage you can find online from his pro days. He had a sweet shot. I'm just amazed at the touch he had. Big man today in basketball, they just don't seem to have that touch.
Back in the good old days, he was a superstar. I don't think he knew he was, but he was one of those gentle giants who was so much fun to watch.
I had limited dreams, especially when it was directed or associated with sports. I initially started playing football, and then later, because of an injury, I decided, the coaches decided that I should develop an interest and focus on basketball. My experience at Jacksonville University was early years. In basketball, we were not in a really conference, but we had a very, very good team.
It was quite amazing. JU was not known for basketball before then. And to see him playing, the team playing, it was national excitement.
It was a sort of magnetic at that time. It was interesting because it's the one time I have seen the entire city.
The gym was always full. We played back then in the old Coliseum. It had about 9,000 seats, and we would pack the place. And it wasn't a question of if we'd win, but by how much.
Individually, I had some tremendous success, but I think the greatest success came as a unit. We were able to compete for a national championship.
Back then, UCLA was the powerhouse in basketball. Nobody beat them. And to think back that we were that close, I even think that we were leading at halftime.
We were the small school against the behemoth UCLA back in the day. They went to the championship 13 times in a row, and we were one of those games.
Many, many of the smaller schools throughout the country, and I heard this from many, they thought, we can do that.
Being number 2 in the nation, people still talk about it.
The feeling everywhere was electric. And I'm speaking not just campus, I'm speaking of the entire city. Well, it wasn't just the entire city. I'd say it probably was most of Florida.
It was one Saturday morning, I think, we were playing a game, and all of a sudden I heard a bunch of noise outside Williams Hall Circle. We had won the game, and the entire dorms emptied out into Williams Hall. Cars were going up and down University Boulevard, blowing their horns, yelling out the windows. It was just excitement that we'll never see again. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
For once, nobody talked about the University of Florida or University of Miami, it was JU.
I was glad to be a part of it. It was fun.
It just happened to be an extraordinary time for me and experience as a student athlete at Jacksonville University.
He is a true blessing for this community. The A-Train, the gentle giant, number 53. We salute him for everything he's done to put our city and Jacksonville University on the map. Artis, I love you, my friend. God bless you.
If someone would have said to me, at the end of all your success, you will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I would have said, wow, that's an incredible challenge.
The big inspiration for me was when I did get to go to Massachusetts to be with him when he was enshrined in the Hall of Fame.
To be with Artis and to watch him interact with his peers and to receive that honor was really touching, because the man earned it.
I was so thrilled when he mentioned me in his speech and said that Dr. Kinney is my second mom, and which I think I really am too. I would say, Artis, if you were my real son, it couldn't be any better than it is right now.
It was a really special moment to receive that news, and many have said that, you know, it was long overdue, but I think it was the right time.
I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, so Artis Gilmore was always a legend around the city of Jacksonville.
You recognize that even now, Artis's name is known everywhere.
You're talking about only 40 colleges maybe represented in the entire country that have a basketball Hall of Famer.
About 6 years ago, when I announced to my friends out west that I was leaving my job and moving to Jacksonville to take a job here at Jacksonville University, the first thing they said, that's where Artis Gilmore went.
One time when I was president of the university, I received a t-shirt from Moscow from somebody that was there that said Artis Gilmore on it.
I speak to vendors nationwide, and those who follow basketball back then still ask me when I say JU, oh, isn't that where Artis played?
When you go around the country and literally around the world, when people say Artis Gilmore, the next thing that they remember is Jacksonville University. So I think that that is a perfect brand and a great opportunity to continue to sell our story about what a great school this is.
That's a good legacy to have. It's a great heritage for the university.
One thing that I would say to the students of Jacksonville University, enjoy the moment and work hard, continue to work hard, get your education. It's from a great program, great institution.
I think of Artis as really a true gentleman. He's a great husband and father. He was a great son to his mom, and I knew his lovely mom. He's somebody I'm very, very proud of. We can all be very proud of him.